Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, 5 years in college, 6 jobs, yet finishing cum laude at the University of the Philippines. A story of determination and survival inspiring Filipinos worldwide. UP's Leo Jaminola tells his story live. Also, a heartwarming father and daughter moment. One of this year's UP summa cum laudes share the honor with her father, PBA legend Samboy Lim. Jamie Lim and her mother, former Pag-ibig Fund CEO Darlene Berberabe, join us in the program. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky Webb. The story of a University of the Philippines cum laudes inspiring netizens across the country. His 5-year stint in the university did not come easy. He managed to juggle at least 6 jobs to survive. He became an encoder, transcriptionist, library student, assistant, tutor, writer, and even a food vendor. What kept him motivated? Let's go straight to the source of this story. University of the Philippines Bachelor of Arts in Political Science cum laude, Leonardo Jaminola III, otherwise known as Leo. Leo, no?
Yes po.
Congratulations,
Thank you
Leo,
po.
cum laude. Ang galing-galing nyo. Ang dami nyo, no? Na nag-graduate
Apo,
na
yes.
cum laude. Almost what?
Almost, I think, 1,000 po. And of 5,000 graduates in cum laude.
Right,
So,
right. That's a lot. You grew up in Mindoro.
Yes po.
And you said that you were part of a community where most members grapple with the everyday reality of poverty. I just wanted to find out from you, how did an experience such as what you went through actually mold you to the person that you are now?
Early on, namulat na ako that life was unfair. like parang everyday reality in my community was really poor, and it was in Ricudo, Pinamalayan, Oriental Mindoro. It's small fishing community, and unsurprisingly, members grapple with poverty kasi the poverty incidence for fisher folks was at 34% in 2015, and it was the second poorest sector next to farmers that registered a 34.3% poverty incidence, while on the national level, it was only at 21. Okay. So these sectors, farmers and fishermen, are actually the poorest of the poor. So ayun po, early on, yung mga fishermen gumigising 2 a.m., 3 a.m. para makahuli, and they will just end up with 100 pesos for the day. So namulat ako that life was unfair, and this community, I really want to help them, I want to serve them. So ayun po.
So, mahirap kayo nung bata ka kasi yung daddy mo was a messenger sa munisipyo.
Apo.
Yung mami mo, anong trabaho?
Wala pong trabaho growing up yung nanay ko. Okay. Although ngayon, nagtitinda na siya ng ice candy.
Tinuruan mo ba? Sabi mo, Nay, kailangan ka magtrabaho. And then, tell us more about your family. You have a sibling? May kapatid ka?
Yes po. May one sibling ako, si Saskia. She's a high school ngayon po, grade 9. So,
matalino din ba siya?
Opo, matalino naman. Kapatid ko, yes.
Sino matalino? Was it your father? Is it your mother? Or is this sheer hard work?
I really don't know. Pero sabi po ni Chancellor Tan, maternal daw po yung pagiging matalino.
So what did your mom say about that, ha?
So, hindi pinagmamalaki po ng side of the family na.
I was asking Leo kung kailan mo nalaman na cum laude ka. Sabi mo, it actually came a little bit late because you weren't computing your grades.
Yeah, I wasn't computing my grades at all. So parang nalaman ko lang from the college secretary na parang, uy, nagtanong lang po ako one day, may honors po ba? So parang sinabi niya na, yeah, cum laude ka, sabit ka. So, ayun po.
Wow. And the story really about you, Leo, is that mahirap nga kayo, and you were juggling 6 jobs. So yung sinabi natin kanina, you were a transcriptionist, encoder, library assistant, tutor, writer, food vendor in your own sari-sari store. Any one of those jobs that you would say you're most proud of?
Yung writing po. Kasi parang there were instances that I was guiding like senior high school students or even college undergraduates to actually help with their thesis, to actually edit, format, and actually test their thesis. So parang natutulungan ko po sila in some way na sa ma-academically challenge. So yes, I'm profiting from that. Pero parang there's also, parang nakakaginhawa din po sa feeling kasi natutulungan mo sila. So, yeah.
Pero yung nagtatrabaho ka kasi, the story is, there were times that in some subjects, did you ever fail?
Yes, twice po.
Twice ka ba
I got two fives in my college.
Because sa sobrang busy mo sa kakatrabaho.
Yes, sa sobrang busy po na parang, kasi parang tuwing finals week, dun po kasi talaga yung boom ng racket. As in, parang nandyan yung magpapatranscribe sa'yo ng mga interviews for thesis, nandyan yung magpapasulat ng kung ano-ano. So parang, finals week, so busy din po ako for sure. So parang, dun ko po talaga nalilet go yung mga ibang subjects. So, ayun po.
Leo, paano nagiging cum laude ang isang estudyante na bumabagsak? How does that happen?
Siguro po maganda yung grades ko dun sa isang subject. So, nataas niya kahit pa paano.
It negates it, it evens it out, no? What was your favorite subject?
Socksai 103.
So I want to okay.
It's quantitative analysis. So, parang I'm testing variables. So, parang mga ganun po.
In layman's terms?
Parang tinitingnan ko po kung may connection yung mga phenomenon. Like for example,
Give us an example.
Anong connection ng political dynasties with underdevelopment? Parang gano'n. So yung research topic ko nun is, may effect ba yung pag-uutang sa IMF, International Monetary Fund and World Bank to human development?
But let's talk about that. In sa political science, is there a correlation between political dynasty rather, and underdevelopment? So, do political dynasties help cities or even provinces, or does it not help?
Evidence shows that actually, parang pag mas lumalaki yung dynasties, mas nakaka-ano sila ng underdevelopment dun sa respective nilang areas. So, ayun po.
Hindi sila nakakatulong.
Hindi po sila nakakatulong. That's why personal advocacy po is to actually have an anti-dynasty law sana sa Pilipinas. So, ayun po. To even it out. Kasi one of the tenets of a democracy is a fair, free, and competitive elections. So if the elites, if the dynasties have already hijacked the system, I think there's no more...
Did you hear that? If the elites have hijacked, the dynasties rather, you said, have hijacked the system. But yung the dynasty kasi, it was also very interesting, Leo saying kanina, in your study, because you have a job right now.
Yes.
Okay, tell us more about that.
I'm a research assistant sa Ateneo Policy Center. So, ayun po. So, I deal with inclusive government and inclusive economies. So.
And we were talking about political dynasties a while ago. There's such a thing as a thin dynasty and a fat dynasty.
Yes, po.
What is a fat dynasty and what is a thin dynasty?
Yung sa thin dynasty, ito yung mga families na nagpapasahan ng posisyon. Like, for example, if mayor ako noong 2013, I pass it down to my son yung 2016 elections. So, ganun yung thin dynasty. Pero pag fat dynasty po, sabay-sabay kayo at the same time yung positions nyo. So, for example, ngayong 2016, ako yung mayor, kapatid ko yung vice mayor, pinsan ko yung councilor, then nanay ko yung congressman. So, yun po yung fat dynasty.
Okay, and an example of fat dynasty, can you give us one?
Of course, madami po.
Sige, wag na lang. Let's talk about this though. So, nalaman mo, I think a couple of months ago na cum laude ka. Ano naging reaction ng family mo?
Umiyak daw po yung nanay ko.
Hindi ka pa nakakauwi?
Hindi pa po. Matagal na po ako hindi nakakauwi. Pumunta po sila dito nung graduation ko. So, parang nasa biyahe po sila nung tinitext ko. So, my mom actually cried, sabi niya. So,
kasi sa kanya galing eh. Yung
Turn out.
ganyan. Diba? Okay, the story also here is, before we go, is that you were trying to apply for scholarships.
Yes po.
Pero nahirapan ka dahil nga nagtatrabaho ka and your grades was not good enough, were not good enough. My question is, having Leah experienced what you went through, poverty there, trying to get a scholarship, hindi ka makapasa kasi nagtatrabaho ka, what kind of solution do you see from government or even society to help people like you and others to be able to make it in school?
Sabi po ng mga tao, they inspire me to na mag-work hard palalo. Pero sana ma-inspire ko din yung government natin to actually enact policies na mas makakatulong na mag-increase na accessibility ng education, health services. Kasi po, in my case, hindi talaga naging accessible yung education for me. Tapos sa case naman ng tatay ko, nung naoperahan siya at naging person with disability, hindi naging accessible yung healthcare. So I wish the government would invest more in human capital para po, kasi these were also the strategies of parang like highly industrialized economies ngayon like South Korea and Singapore to actually invest in their people kasi sila din naman yung magmamana ng country, sila din naman yung who actually
Sila yung magpapatakbo
yeah,
ng bansa.
so if you actually have a highly skilled, competitive and talented labor force, then people would invest in your country. So
now you know why he's cum laude. Maraming salamat kay Leah. Leah, thank you and
Salamat po. Thank you for
congratulations.
having
And one day we'll keep talking to you and get your
Salamat po.
analysis on certain issues, especially concerning our government. Maraming salamat kay Leah. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Coming up, from one inspiring story to another, a heartwarming father and daughter moment after one of this year's UP summa cum laude shared the honor with her father, PBA legend Samboy Lim. Jamie Lim and her mother, Darlene Berberabe, join us in the program next. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. The University of the Philippines made history this year. Out of 5,000 students, 54 graduated summa cum laude. While all of the graduating students have inspiring and unique stories to tell, one of them stood out because she shared her shining moment with her father, PBA basketball legend, the Skywalker, Samboy Lim. How did she manage being a student, an athlete, and dutiful daughter? Let's go straight to the source of this story. UP Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. Doon pa lang nahirapan ako. Summa cum laude. Jamie, Christine Lim. Jamie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you po.
Of course, I know your father and I know your mom. Nag-sync in na ba na summa cum laude ka? Sure ka na ba?
Yeah, nung nabasa ko po, or nung confirm na po na summa cum laude, I was so happy, I was so excited. Sinare ko po agad kay mom kasi when I woke up and I got the news na final na po, the next ko po agad kay mom.
Siya syempre ang una. But yung mami mo din, ano, di ba? Summa cum laude
Yeah, summa cum
also.
laude po siya ng philosophy 30 years ago.
Wow. In terms of grade, who had the higher one? Kung competent, meron ba?
Ako po.
Tama si Mommy.
pero si mommy kasi, sabi niya, dapat may adjustment na raw po. Kasi before, I think yung sumas nila, 4 lang po sila. And the entire UP system po.
So does that make it, is she saying that was harder back then? Or?
No, marami naman pong ibang factors, so not necessarily. No.
Yeah, and of course that was, he said, as he said 30 years ago. And what was that some sort of pressure for you?
I think people would think that there would be pressure po sa akin because he was a summa and ang galing-galing po ni mom tsaka matalino po. Pero she never gave me that pressure. She was always so careful with me and then she just told me to focus on doing my best po. So she never told me to aim for summa cum laude. So yung pressure po, nanggagaling po sa akin.
And you really wanted that?
I did po.
You really had that in your
head? It was
head?
my goal. I like to have big goals po. And idol ko po talaga si mom. I want to be like her po. So it was always a goal.
How nice naman. Was there a time that sinabi mo, mukhang di mo to kaya? Dumating ba yon? Iniyakan mo? Umiyak ka ba?
Actually, nung second year po, yun yung start ng majors po na intense. And at first, I would hear so many rumors na may hirap po yung subjects. So, masisindak po ako at first. Pero, I focused on every exam lang po. And then, so kinaya ko naman po. Yeah, it's one lesson, one day at a time, one exam at a time, and then kinaya ko naman po.
What was the hardest part?
I think
Which
the
would be the
hardest part would be doing it all together and doing it consistently po. Because 4 years of studying every day, sometimes nakaka-burnout po.
Yeah.
But I had to keep my eye on the ball and focus po talaga.
What did you have to give up? Ano yung nawala sa'yo dahil sa pag-aaral mo? Because you kept on studying.
Yung karate po. Because I was doing karate since 6 years old,
Yeah.
all up to 18 years old. And nung college, tinry ko po ipagsabay. Pero it was very hard because I wanted the highest grade I could get po. I wanted to do my best in all the subjects. And it was hard to do it. Lalo na with the traffic po. Like, I had to travel pa to Mega Mall to train. And it was so hard. So I couldn't do it at the same time. I gave it up and I decided to focus on academics po muna.
We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today joining us, UP Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, summa cum laude, Jamie Christine Lim. And joining us, her mother, also a summa cum laude, former Pag-ibig Fund Chief Darlene Berberabe, or Attorney Berberabe. Welcome to the show. Good to see you again, Attorney Lelen.
Yes, good to see you, Pinky.
Congratulations! What a beautiful story, mother, daughter, and of course also father eventually, no? So summa din si Jamie. Wow. It runs in the family.
Nako, hanggang langit ang ligaya ng buong family. So and then it was also a surprise kasi si Jamie nung lumalaki, ang medal niyan, best in sports. So hindi siya with honors, but and then when she was about to go to UP, she said she wanted to take a course that had a lot of mathematics.
I know,
So and then ended up with math. Tapos napapansin ko na matataas yung grades niya nung first year, second year, pero hindi, quiet lang ako. So to not put undue pressure on her. And then later on, ayan, hindi na mapigilan ng pagyayabang ng nanay.
Tuloy-tuloy na.
Tuloy-tuloy na.
Very proud, no? When you graduated in high school, unfortunately, your father wasn't there because that was the time that unfortunate incident happened. He fell unconscious, no? And in college, I know that your mom made sure that your father, Samboy Lim, would be with you. How difficult was... and what kind of decision, what was the biggest challenge in doing this, attorney?
Okay. 3 weeks before the graduation, Samboy was hospitalized pa for fluid imbalance. But I was already talking to his team of doctors na sinasabi kong, okay, graduation na ng anak namin. I was planning to bring Samboy so that the event will be complete. So, and then the doctors were really collaborating and they knew what we wanted to do. So they gave us clearance, and then of course kailangan ng ambulance to bring Samboy to UP. We had to coordinate with UP Diliman. Kailangan may ramp, saan siya magsistay. We needed a power plug because we needed to bring the suction machine because every 5 minutes he had to be suctioned because of he has difficulty in swallowing. So yung saliva niya, so he has to spit it out. So but UP Diliman College of Science really cooperated, made sure that the arrangements were there, and then the doctors gave us clearance, ambulance was there, the nurse was there, his PT was there, and then yung iba naming family sinasabi, baka kaawaan si Samboy, and hindi namin siya nilalabas. So I said, I know Samboy, Jamie is the most important person in the world. I know that he will not miss it for the world. So we made a decision for him.
Nakakaiyak naman. How did it feel, Jamie? Siyempre wala nung high school pero nandun in college and your mom made sure everything, your mom made sure everything would be okay.
Yeah, I was so grateful po na it happened and mom made it happen po. He was there and he was holding up well po for the whole day. Yung 4 years ko po na pag-aaral, I always do it for both my parents. So I'm just happy na they were both there on my graduation.
He used to call you Doy, is that correct?
Yeah.
Doy stands for Darlene, D.
Actually, parang
And
wala
Oy?
lang. Si Samboy, mahilig yan mag-coin ng mga words na kung ano-ano ang tawag. So kay Jamie, ang tawag niya, Doy and Doy. So, Miss
Parang
China,
nag-rhyme.
iba-iba.
Doy.
Parang ano lang, tawag lang niya na panglambing niya.
And what was it, having to see this, you're right, attorney, no? Nandun din yung takot na baka kaawaan lang this legend, you know, this guy that I definitely knew. Hindi naman ganon. Natakot ka ba that something like that? Because why? Balikan ko lang in 2017. There's a nice picture of you, the three of you that went viral. Yun yung naging medyo gumanda yung kalagayan ni Samboy, no? So, nakangiti, everyone said, ay, malusog si Samboy, pero mula nun, ito na yung muling nakita namin.
Actually, nung nilabas namin siya noong 2017, production value din yon, ambulance, nakaabang. Pero ano siya talaga, kung mapapansin, hindi naman siya nakatingin sa camera.
Yes,
Because
he's not.
Samboy cannot see, cannot speak, cannot move on his own, but he can hear us. And he reacts, he can smile. So talagang basically, totally assisted by a nurse. So, but we can sit him up all throughout the day. Nakaupo siya. So, sanay siya nang nakaupo sa wheelchair. So, nung nilabas namin siya, people thought na, oy, okay na si Samboy. Okay na siya considering na comatose siya for 5 weeks, and the doctors were telling us he will not come out of coma.
We're running out of time, though. If knowing that your father was there and knowing that he's been a part of your life, because I remember even in, I think it was in 2011, he was congratulating you on his Facebook post for winning a gold in, I have to make sure, karate, no?
Yeah.
What was the one thing you would have wanted to hear Samboy say to you during your graduation?
He always tells me he's proud of me po kasi. I think every day, for whatever I do po, he's always proud of me. So, he doesn't have to say it. I know it po. I see it in both of my parents po that they're proud of me.
How
so
do you
that's enough.
keep it together, mother and daughter?
Tandem kami ni Jamie. So, we already have a system of taking care of Samboy. Kahit na hindi na kami magkasama ni Samboy, we made sure that we will shower Jamie with all the love that we can. Sabi namin, what's the next best thing? Kasi hindi na ideal yung situation ng family. But the next best thing is really to show respect and love. And now that he's sick, so we're taking care of him.
Such an inspiring story. We'll be continuing our discussion on Facebook because Jamie is trying to make it to join the SEA Games in karate. We'll be talking about that on our Facebook page. But at this point, I'd like to thank Jamie and, of course, Attorney Lelen for joining us in the show. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.